Good morning guys, welcome back to Barham Engines once again. Just remember, if you're enjoying this channel guys, please smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, it'll really help us. First of all today guys, we're going to leave you for a few minutes with Paul. He wants to get involved with the camera, so why not? Let's let him. What's the worst he could do?
So something a little bit different today. I'm sort of behind the camera, and I thought I'd have a little chat with you guys and talk about the Pre-Crossflow and other engines. And then we're going to go see the guys. So the Pre-Crossflow is now finished, or nearly finished. Off the stand with the flywheel on, with the clutch loosely bolted on because we haven't got the clutch alignment tool. Haven't got the distributor to put in, and we haven't got a mechanical fuel pump. We're going to buy a new mechanical fuel pump because they're only about 30-40 quid from Burton Power. So instead of trying to clean the old one up, it's much cheaper to buy a new one. Manifold's just plonked on very slightly with a few bolts because obviously being at Pre-Crossflow, the exhaust manifold will fit obviously around here as well. It's looking pretty good, pretty happy with it. Fresh bolts, nice paint job, fresh plugs. So pretty happy with that. In the last video, I said Crossflow, and a few people point out that it's a Pre-Crossflow. You will be correct. I made a mistake. It is a Pre-Crossflow, not a Crossflow. But I'm not really sorry if I'm honest with you. So sorry, guys. Ain't that right, Isaac?
Yeah, you ain't sorry about nothing.
No. Next to go on the stand is this Lotus twin cam race engine, which, as you might recognise, the block is the same. So the engine stand pattern to change. This is just coming for a rebuild basically, so it's already been a race engine, but we're going to sort of strip it down, freshen it up. So we just had some sort of oil leak in the past, but this should be an interesting one to get into, so quite looking forward to that. Hello mate, how you getting on?
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
What are you up to?
Just, well, been beat blasting this rocker cover for a couple of hours now. Paint ain't coming off really, so.
This is off the C20 XE?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm just sort of sanding down the edges.
Yep.
Getting it smooth so we can get a nice finish on the paintwork.
Yeah, get a nice paint job. It's not too bad. It was pretty dire straits when we got it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
So it takes time to get them nice, but I mean, nice coat of paint, maybe paint it a bit, 2-pack. Nice shiny finish would be nice.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Lovely job. Well done, mate.
Yeah, cool.
All right, let's just go over and see what Lee's doing. What are you up to there, big boy?
Hello mate, alright?
How's he getting on?
Not bad.
What did we have here?
We have another Cosworth here.
Another Cosworth?
We finally unveiled the pallet of Cosworth stuff that was sitting over there.
Yep.
And it's revealed a block, a gearbox, which he's open for us to do something with, but we'll probably be passing that on to Bob Tucker.
Yep.
That's the T5 out the early two-wheel drives. Apparently it's the usual. I think they got taper bearings in these, and it all gets a bit worn.
There's a bit of
and
play
you get a bit of end float as opposed to preload, so
that's not
just
ideal.
needs a bearing kit, I would have thought, in there.
Nice.
So yeah, this is a liner job. So we're doing the usual, putting the ductile iron liners in. What we do many of. I'm sure everyone's seen me do this before. It's a 205 block, so we can't long stud it, but it's got liners in before. It looks like it's got 3 liners in, but they're the old style, just straight liners, way too thin, and one of the boards got a big crack in it. So we're basically just freshening this up and getting it useful, really.
Give it a new lease of life.
Yeah, that's right. He sent a cylinder head in with no valves in it, but it has cams in it. So I rang him to see what we're doing and where the other bits were, and apparently he's got no other bits. He wants us to build an engine out of it.
So we've got a...
So I've dug a crank out from upstairs, which we previously ground. It's at maximum.
Yeah.
But I've told him about it. Might save him a few quid. I've ordered the bearings, and yeah, so at least he's got a crank. I've got a set of rods. That's a new set of rods that I had in the drawer.
Yep.
So we sold him those. They're the ones that I ordered, but we want the pistons the guy supplied with the long rod pistons. All the rest we can order, really. All the gaskets and...
Yeah, most stuff is available now, isn't it? So.
Pistons I've got there. So I just have to put my pockets in them. Crank bearings, gaskets, all the rest, really. Oil pump. He's going to have to find a sump and rocker cover, but
I reckon something would probably be the hardest one to find, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's some. It's all getting a bit expensive now, really. You know, a decent sump and a rocker cover is going to be 400 quid, which is crazy, really.
John, you right?
John's all right. Look, he's got. Look at the fear go through his.
Just like, don't point that at me.
You film the feet if you like.
So you're going to put this one on the stand then, mate, yeah?
Yeah, Lotus twin cam. Well, it's a race engine, isn't it? So that's going to go on the stand. As I said earlier, the Bellhausen pattern's exactly the same, with the same block, isn't
Ideal.
it? Basically.
Yeah,
so,
really.
I haven't moved the pattern on the engine stand. That's going to go straight on. So.
Yeah.
Lovely job.
There we go. Ideal, mate.
Boom, boom, boom. Right, so that's the Lotus twin cam on the engine stand. We'll get these handles off and we'll whip the sump plug out and double check there's no oil in it. And then we'll get them stripped down. The B&W engine is now on the stand as well, so we can get into that one. Well, you're gonna strip this one, Isaac? You reckon?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
You got his name? Is this got your name written all over it, or?
Not that I can see, no, but
Not like.
give it a little go.
We can write your name in it. How does that sound? Yeah.
We'll do that.
That's good. The Pre-Crossflow is now on the pallet over here, out the way. We'll cover it up in a bit of a sheet to make sure it stays nice. The next job for myself is this Jag straight 6 engine. So I've just put the crank in the block. I'll get the main caps on in a minute. I'll get the main caps a bit clean because they've been out for a little bit. So I'll give these brake cleaner and a blow off, and we'll bolt the caps on, make sure it turns over right. So Isaac's on this YB Cosy block. What are you doing to this one, big boy?
Got to clean it out because it's just been bored and honed.
Yep.
But I've just knocked the core plug out of the oil way and popped the ball out of this end of the
Oh, yep.
oil way, and yeah.
So get some TFR or some brake cleaner out there and clean it out properly and
nice.
get the hose, make sure all ways are lovely and clean.
Yeah.
It's looking very nice.
Right, guys, so besides the putting the liners in the Cosworth block over there, I've been refacing some discs. Now, these discs are off an old Aston Martin. Don't know whether it's a DB5 or something like that, but as you can see, they're just a plain sort of single solid disc. They're not vented or anything like that, but these things, knowing Aston Martin, are astronomically expensive. There weren't a lot wrong with them, so all we've done is just give them a lick over, face them, and I think this is going on a car that's been a bit restored, really, so I think they're going to paint them up, make them look like new, so why not? Right, guys, we've had some good news and bad news on the Lagonda engine. So this is the Lagonda, all sitting here on this table waiting to be done. Now, what we've been waiting for on this, before we rang the customer, obviously now we've got it all stripped, and I told you a few videos ago about the delaminating of the white metal and also the metal spraying on the crankshaft. So we were waiting for some prices back from various people to see what they would charge to do the work. And we've managed to, what we've done is we've used Charlie at CTM Performance. He spoke to one of his guys who does this sort of thing, and he's come back with some prices, and it's not brilliant news, to be honest with you. So the bad news is, because this is sort of delaminated, it's obviously all been metal sprayed before and then ground back. We can't obviously build this thing assuming that all these other journals are going to be all right. So what we've got to do is grind that right back and start again, basically. They've got to weld it all up, then grind the crank. He's going to have to redo all the white metaling on the big ends and on the mains. And he has estimated between about, it sounds ridiculous, but between about £2,500 to £6,000. And the reason he's done that, he said, look, he's been stung 2 or 3 times. Obviously, until you get in amongst grinding this right out, and obviously seeing what you've got with the white metal, he's been stung once before on a Rolls Royce that was an absolute disaster, and it ended up taking so many hours. So it's one of those jobs. So in fairness to him, he can't really stick to a figure. That, you know, he's just given an estimate. He said, rule of thumb, usually it's going to cost about £3,000 or something to sort that out. But he has to sort of give you a worst case scenario. So that's the figures we've got on repairing all that. We've got to liner the block. So there's going to be obviously the work liner in it plus the liners. It's going to need new pistons and that anyway. So whereas we sort of said to the customer, you know, with a 4-cylinder, providing everything's serviceable and not too bad a condition, we can normally go through a 4-cylinder for about roughly about £3,000 plus the VAT. But this is going to be quite a lot more. There's obviously the liner job on top of that, and then depending on what the parts are, so he's potentially looking at about £4,000 to £5,000 with work from us, plus potentially £5,000 or £6,000 on repairing the crank, although that's unlikely. So the bad news is, guys, this thing's going to end up costing about 3 times more than what we've estimated to the customer originally, although we hadn't stripped it at the time, so we weren't to know. We have got hold of the customer, and the good news is that he does want to go ahead with it. We don't like to sort of get engines stripped and give people the bad news that even though we've estimated it, that it's going to be 2 or 3 times more than what we originally estimated. But then that's why we estimate, to be honest. So that's the score with that one, guys. I'm going to send him some pictures this afternoon of the damage just so he can see. And then I suspect we shall probably go ahead and get this done. What he's going to do, because he's a member of the Owners Club, he's going to go away first and see if anyone has got a better crank, or a crank that we can at least grind before we white metal the bearings back. But if worst comes to the worst, we're going to have to do that. So yeah, not good. Well, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. If I don't see you before, which I won't, have a lovely bank holiday weekend, and we will see you again on Monday. Cheers, guys.